Hello everyone, this is Venomita here, and today I have yet another Bucky X Reader story. So, I should mention, before we get into the story, that somebody had requested because at the time of writing this, someone had requested for a Bucky X Reader story, and they had wanted a dead Bucky X dead Reader story. So that is not this one shot, but it will be the next one. And I also had decided to make that into a 2-part series where there's one bad ending of the story and there's one good ending of the story. So I'll be posting both of those endings up on my channel. So in case you guys want to see those and hear my voice with them, then you'll get that treat. Anyway, this is simply titled My Soulmate, and before I get into this, I know that I'm probably stalling here. I had wanted to do a soulmate story where you don't see color, or you don't see something, or you don't experience a certain type of part of life until you meet your soulmate. But I didn't want to do that because I felt that was just too mundane and too boring. So this idea came to me, and I thought, why not? So why don't I go ahead and stop rambling and get into this. This is simply titled, My Soulmate. As you walk down to the diner, you couldn't help but think of the coin flip chance that this would work. Your good friend, Tony Stark, was setting you up on yet another blind date. As of late, you had been venting to him about not finding your soulmate yet, and he has. Allow me to explain. When a child is born, they are born with a pair of wings that will only ever be visible to their soulmate. Your wings were black and red, and only you and your soulmate Your wings were black and red, and you and your soulmate were the only ones to see them. As you stepped into the diner, you scanned the booths. You felt your heart sink as you could not see anyone's wings. But suddenly you felt a cool metal touch on your shoulder. You groaned and turned around. Stark, I told you that this was... You looked at the man behind you and nearly had a heart attack. Not because he had a metal arm, not because he was an Avenger, but because you saw them. He had wings, the exact color as yours. Are you? You asked. He smiled and quickly wrapped his arms around you. You were a little shocked, but quickly recovered from the shock and hugged him back. I can't believe you're here in front of me, you said as you both ate. After the hug, you both went into a booth and ordered your food. Bucky chuckled. Do you mean in a soulmate way or in an Avenger way? Both! Out of every soulmate I could have gotten, I got you. It's amazing. Bucky looked at you with a sad smile. Are you sure you don't find me creepier or whatnot? Bucky, if I could describe how epic it is to be your soulmate, I would. All sorts of girls would kill to date you, and I got you to myself. You get to save the world and stuff while all I do is write books. Bucky laughed. The food arrived and you both began to chow down. So, what do you write? You looked up at Bucky and tried to swallow the food and the lump in your throat at the same time. I may or may not write romance novels, mostly supernatural romance. Bucky chuckled at and you blushed a deep scarlet. Why would you find that embarrassing? Because men find it dumb with a capital B. I don't. I may not look like it, but I can be a romantic. Now it's your turn to laugh. You? A romantic? Yeah, I can be. Prove it. Bucky sighed and laid out some money on the table before grabbing your hand and leading you outside. You both walked in a strange silence, when suddenly Stark appeared in his Iron Man suit. Stark, do you have it? You bet, man. He held out his hand and gave him something you could not see. Stark then turned around and fired a firework into the sky. The words said, Will you marry me? You gasped and turned on Bucky. I know this is sudden. I know we only just met. But I want to get to know you as a person. I don't want you just because you're my soulmate. You seem to be the most beautiful and graceful woman ever. Please, your name. Give me the honor to call you my wife. you cried and kissed him suddenly. You only broke the kiss once to say the simple word, yes. Then all of the Avengers came out with sparklers. They cheered and smiled for you both. And meanwhile, you and Bucky were kissing each other passionately. You both slowly broke apart and you turned to the Avengers to say, here's to a new life. Together. Together. They all yelled in unison. You certainly could not ask for a better soulmate. The end. And I'm not gonna lie, before you start asking questions about, hey, how did Stark know that Bucky was the reader's soulmate? How did the Avengers know to do all this and all that stuff? Well, I'm not gonna confirm nor deny that maybe that Bucky might have known, or maybe something like that. It's up to your interpretation. But I did have the idea that Bucky would propose like that, and that the Avengers themselves were holding back that little surprise until Bucky found his soulmate. So it was so much fun to do this. It was so cute. And I thought it was so sweet to actually make Bucky propose like that. And I apologize if he was too out of character, but I typically have to research him in order to write him. And if you're wondering what do you mean by research, I mean like looking up videos of Bucky and reading other people's fanfics of him. So I like to think I did rather well though with it regardless, because it was so cute. And as I said, the next 2 Bucky X readers will be rather dark, but I hope to have them out as soon as possible. But I have a couple other stories that are in the works, one of which being a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one. So be on the lookout for that stuff. And as always, this is Phantom Rainer, and I'll be seeing you all very soon. Bye-bye!